Hello and welcome to the video. Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Wade Daniel Smith. In this video, I'm discussing how do some black belts get their belt ranking anyway, even in Isshinryu Karate, much less some other styles that have even lower teaching standards. As they seem like they keep lowering the standards in Isshinryu, which used to be one of the best styles, and I don't know why you would want to lower the teaching standards in Isshinryu Karate because they used to raise the standards. Um, Matter of fact, the year I was going to get promoted to black belt, they added in another entire Q ranking to the style just to make it harder to get a black belt. So I had to get promoted again. Um, but then, ever since then, they've done the reverse and weakened the style. Like, for example, and this is not Grandmaster Calandra's fault. He was doing a seminar one time that I saw the video of. It's online somewhere, where the students at one of the dojos that he was giving a seminar at were supposedly black belts and second degree black belts, and they had never seen multi attack drills before. I'm like, how do you get a black belt or even a brown belt and you don't even know what a multiple attacker drill is? Um, I mean, how do you even do the proper bunkai of Seisan Kata, much less Naihanchi Kata, and you don't know what the concept of defending multiple attackers at the same time? Because he was trying to teach them a multi-attack drill, and they were looking at him like he was trying to teach them something impossible or totally new that they had never even seen. And I'm like scratching my head because I'm like, I don't know. I was familiar with multi-attack drills since before I even started taking karate because my own father, they used to do multi-attack drills by the time you were orange belt years ago when he took karate when he was in his early 20s. And he told the story of it. By the time you were an orange belt, they would put you against multiple attackers and see how you did. Um, so I'm like, they have completely freaking watered karate down, even in some of the supposedly best styles, such as Isshinryu, um, to where these new black belts, so called, are like 1/4 of what a black belt used to be in the style, or even what a brown belt used to be in the style. And it wasn't the Grandmaster's fault because he knows what he's doing, but they didn't. And they're like looking at him like, "What are you even doing? We've never seen this before. How in the hell did you get a first or second degree black belt and you've never seen a multi attack drill before? That makes no sense. You're not a black belt. You're like a green belt, maybe." Like that's not a competent fighter. A black belt is supposed to be able to kick the tar out of two or more white belts easily. All right, working even if they're teamed up against them. I can beat multiple black belts, and I'm talking about good black belts. I'm not talking about paper black belts like that crap. But I'm kind of a freak of nature or something whenever I fight. It's a certain amount of effort that I trained over the years, but some of it's a certain amount of God given talent also. And that's just the God's honest truth. I have to credit him for some of that because some of it is just flat out God given talent. Um, and then some of it was the fact that I did train for over 4,000 hours in Isshinryu Karate back when they used to teach you real legal street self defense in the dojo. And I circuit trained a total of over 20 hours per week at the time. But people don't do that anymore. Like, I've seen one teaching video online or somebody was training the way we used to train back years ago. And he's a Kyokushin student, not an Isshinryu student. And other than him, I don't know of anybody that trains like that anymore. Not even professional MMA fighters train like we used to train. They don't. They can't throw a punch. People think John Jones is an awesome fighter, and he only has a 450-foot-pound punch. I can punch a 1,000-pound punch whenever I was 20 years old, and I mean 20 years out of practice, I was still over 650 pounds on my first attempt on the punch machine. So, and I've seen him try to max out the punch machine, and he can't get over 450 pounds on it. And Conor McGregor isn't even as big as him, and Conor McGregor can max the first level out on the punch machine. So I don't know why people think John Jones is that great of a fighter. I think he's a pretty bad fighter from what I've seen of him. Um, he couldn't knock you out if he punched you straight in the jaw. I mean, all you have to do to train punches is practice your basics in a mirror, 10 to 20 reps per day in a mirror, number one. Number two, do 200 to 300 push ups every day and 200 to 300 jump squats every day. And then three, do an hour of cardio kickboxing bag work every day. And by the time you do that, you will have the strongest punch and the strongest kick in the dojo, and you'll even have the strongest punch and strongest kick probably in your state in the United States. Is how big a difference that will make in your, because nobody trains like that. They don't. Even the boxers don't seem to be training like that anymore. Boxers used to train like that. Um, but do those three things every day, and you'll have the strongest punch and strongest kick in your dojo for sure. And you'll probably have the strongest punch and strongest kick in your entire U.S. state because nobody is doing that anymore. Um, and yes, you need to practice your basics in a mirror with your coach's supervision literally every day, no matter how good you are or how good you think you are. That my fourth degree black belt sensei used to do his own basics in the mirror every day, 10 reps per day, and he taught every class you did 10 reps of every basic every day, no matter what belt rank you were, because he was going to look at it and make sure you were doing it right every single time. And that's the way it needs to be taught because it's that important. Um, and that's just warm up. That's not even considered technique, whenever you're talking about intermediate or advanced students. Principles, stick to good principles. Don't water down martial arts styles and teach nothing and garbage. If you have a good style, a good Okinawan style karate for your karate base, and then like a good grappling style like judo or jujitsu, which I studied jujitsu with my karate instructor and judo. He taught all that under one roof. Um, So, because Isshinryu was one of the first mixed martial arts, it was in fact a combination of one of the best striking styles, Goju-Ryu, with one of the best grappling styles, Shorin-Ryu. That's the whole concept of Isshinryu. So, it was in fact one of the first true mixed martial arts schools when it was first come around. Now it's been watered down to where, like, I don't know what they call the champion in Isshinryu Karate point sparring now doesn't even involve Shorin-Ryu and it's just point sparring, and which doesn't prove anything, you know. Um, yeah, you know, teach real karate, not nonsense. And if you're going to call yourself a karate school, you should teach not only the karate basics and the karate principles that you know, but you should cross train in the other styles such as judo and jujitsu anyway. Because how do you know if your style is beating their style unless you study their style? So you really need to be a mixed martial artist anyway. Even if you think Isshinryu is the best style, which it used to be one of the best before they watered it down and made some kind of pussification out of it. Um, so if if you're a black belt, you're supposed to study all styles anyway, which Chuck Norris even said that one time on Walker, Texas Ranger. The Walker character told Trevette that there was all different styles, and Trevette is like, which style is the best? And Walker replied, the best style is to study every style. And so that was the correct answer to that question. Um, he ought to know he's a ninth degree black belt now, and I think he was a sixth or seventh degree black belt at the time he was filming that show. But Chuck Norris is a ninth degree black belt now in Tang Sudo Karate. And they're a pretty good style. They're not as well known as some of the Okinawan styles and other styles, but I've seen their teaching videos. They're pretty good. Um, but he was one of the best. Now he did point knockdown and point contact or tag sparring, and he also did full contact fighting. And his record is some absurd win percentage, 200 something wins and only 10 losses, I think. So that's different because that's Chuck Norris. But what they're doing in point sparring, bouncing around like rabbits and stuff like that for the Olympic gold medal, is not karate. While, like I said on that other video, while you're bouncing around in the air, a real karateka is changing directions on you and catching you off guard with maneuverability, mobility, and firepower. That's not karate, bouncing around in the air. You lost your base, you lost your balance, you lost your ability to change directions. So, what they're doing is not karate. They think they're good and they're not even good fighters. I've tried explaining that to them, that they're a joke. And then they think I'm lying. And it's like, no, I would kick the tar out of both of you by myself. Um, And so, but you don't have to believe that because I have had two strokes in the past couple years, and so I'm not quite what I used to be 24 years ago, and that's why I kind of look pretty sick and and stuff like that. But I could probably beat them, with one hand tied behind my back even right now. Um, because they're not even throwing full power punches. They're pulling their punches. They're used to pulling their punches. They're not used to throwing a full power punch. And then we know from what happened after the Tokyo Olympics, the gold medalists from both the karate and the taekwondo championships got beat up by unskilled attackers in street fights shortly after the Tokyo Olympics. That hasn't happened yet for Paris Olympics, but I expect it to happen because the first thing that's going to happen is somebody's going to want to prove that point bar can't fight. All right. Thank you very much for watching. And have a good day.